And how's it going? This is Resident calling with YouTube here to do a review of today Beguile. Book 8, Chapter 9, The Fury of a Sunrise. So Paris, 1725. What you have here happen is the backstory of Dominique to a degree. Um, you have her life as a mortal and her life, how she became immortal, how Count Alexander turned her into a vampire and made her a daywalker as well, where he was not, she was somehow, or at least to my, I might have that wrong, or I know she is. So I try to read this very carefully. I always gather that Alexander was not a daywalker, uh, and Dominic was. So he gave her this power, this special ability, not just to be a vampire, mind you, but gave her a special ability. She also, in turn, gave that same ability without losing it herself to the young girl. So Evan did not have that special ability at all. And now this also gets into where I won't jump ahead. I'll get that in here. I almost did that. I almost did that. You have a conversation between Dominique and Sebastian, and Dominique gives Sebastian the same gift she received. And I think it's what, John Mark, who also has that ability. Not her name, John Mark. So, what I'll say to John Mark. So, what I will say to this is that Sebastian being given this gift is out of loyalty. And if we're going to be loyal to give this gift, in a lot of ways, to play devil's advocate here, because I play devil's advocate a lot on my channel for characters. I get why Sebastian is loyal to Dom in a sense. Do I think this is complete mind control? No. Some of it is. Some of it's Dominic messing with him, twisting his mind. But I also think, too, Sebastian's not completely mind control to a degree. And I'll get into why I say that here in a minute. But what I want to talk about is the reason, Sebastian's reasons and decisions, in my opinion, for this whole book. Kind of understand you. What I will encourage you to do is go back and read this story from the very beginning. And yes, I said the very beginning, and you will more than understand Sebastian's choices for all of this. I don't feel it makes him a heel, in my opinion. Now, you might disagree. You're entitled to. Welcome to your opinion here, and I've always said that. But here is a man who was raised in a very wealthy family that was full of rumor and innuendos. And it is full of rumor and innuendo. That hasn't changed. There are many rumors and legends around the lords themselves. And same thing with the Deshaws, but there's other stuff going on there too. But with the lords, you kind of, Sebastian grew up believing his father, murdered his mom. And he found out after being dead that wasn't the case, that it was his uncle. And he learned really how vicious his uncle really is, and how far he'll go to get his way. And Sebastian's family members that are like that. Sebastian, though a lord, he kind of became he did become an outsider to his family in a lot of ways, becoming being turned into a vampire. In many ways, he felt like the outcast, whereas he felt Jacob should be the outcast. He's done all this wrong. He's done all the plotting, the murdering, the scheming, but Sebastian is the outside of the family. For the most part, I would say, other than to Evie. But Sebastian has seemingly has done things to sort of set him on the outs with Evie to a degree too. More so than with the Lords. The Lords more chose to make him feel like an outsider. So I know that I'm going on there, so I apologize. But I want to give my explanation of why I don't feel Sebastian's a true heel here. Now, I could be wrong. You could disagree with me. You could yell at me. I'll try not to yell back. I generally don't yell at guests on here, or yell at people. But what I will say most is that I understand Sebastian's reasoning for being loyal to Dominique and a stranger to him because she did not make him feel like a stranger and an outsider. She made him feel like he was always one of them, whereas the Lords, when he became a vampire, did not. Yeah, John Mark. So, and by the way, you have a reuniting of Evie and Matthew and his sister here. They have Gabriel. They're trying to get out. They have many people helping them. John Mark. Who is trying to help them. You also have Roman, who is trying to help us. And Evie also, this is the first time Evie is learning of Churchill's murder. That Sebastian seemingly murdered Churchill. I think, now I could be reading into this a little wrong, so please excuse this input here. Because I always tell you guys when I read John's stories, I give my own sort of analysis here for a lot of this. Like, I'm not trying to put words in the author's mouth. I never want to do that. I never try to do that. I give my own opinion. I take away from this that Evie's shocked to learn that, because Matthew's saying he saw Sebastian outside of the Churchill house, hinting that he murdered Churchill. I think Evie's thinking, well, wait a second. If he's outside Churchill, he then comes to me. I think there's Evie's question. It seems to me she's not just confused, she's questioning this. Okay, I get he has powers, but he wasn't two places at once. Did he stop this? It seems, maybe I'm reading that wrong. I could be reading wrong into that. So don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Take it a very small pinch of salt. Okay, because I could be wrong. What I feel the character is thinking. I think she's confused, but she's seemingly asked, "Well, he murdered Churchill first, or what?" Wait a second. It seems more is going on. I think there's more going on around the murder of Churchill than that's not being said. I could be wrong. Also, you have Evan, who I really enjoyed here, who kills a lot of his brothers and sisters, if you will, destroying a lot of the court, because he's mad. He's upset. He feels betrayed by not just the court itself, but by Dominique. And Evan does this, and he is then later confronted and destroyed by Dominique. Dominique does a lot of killing in here, which really, I think, opens Sebastian's mind to how Dominique really is. Dominic has witnessed the murder of Alexander. He's witnessed the murder of Evan. He's witnessed this woman murdering two of her own family members. It's nothing Jacob wouldn't do, but I think Dominic is much worse than Jacob. So Dominic is a heel. Dominic is a pure-blooded heel. And before his death, what I love here is that Evan learns that, okay, you could always stand in the sunlight. Never told me this. I remember Evan and Dominic were lovers at some point. So, and to learn all that before death is a hell of a thing. You have a really great confrontational closing sequence in the courtyard and ultimately escape. I mean, I'm talking. This isn't the official cliffhanger. This isn't the final chapter of this book. But this leads a very interesting, because here's the walls are collapsing, they're closing in, and I take it that Matthew's sister is the one causing this. Dominique wants, as she puts it, her child that she and Sebastian were married are adopting. Gabriel and Evie's, no, this is my child. He came here unwillingly, you know. Oh, no, no. And you have one of the best character confrontations ever. Evie is not afraid of Dominic. She's not going to be minding authority by her at all. And I mean, because Evie's been through a lot. This makes her, the things Evie has been through, all the things Evie has been through with the Lords and now the Dishaws, a lot of this has mentally prepared the character, in my opinion, for this kind of confrontation. Very much so. You have a very, very strong protagonist, which is great to have, which is nice to see. You also have a very, very evil heel in Dominic, and you have another in Jacob. And you have Dominic who can mind manipulate far better than Jacob could ever dream about, which is really, really interesting. Kildar wants to stop them from going, but Sebastian whispers to him, "Let them go. Let them go." It lets you. This is what I mean by Sebastian's not a sure deal. This is what I wanted to get to, and I'm not trying to rush you. Right there. There's a lot of human Sebastian in with the vampire. A lot of Dominique's humanity is long gone, because remember, Dominique's a lot older than what Sebastian is. Yes, yes, I said it. A woman's older than a man. You can be mad at me for that. My wife gets mad at me that often, because my wife is older than me. I'm not saying she's as old as Dominique, but just that. I slept that in there. Oh my gosh, what an amazing, amazing story. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed reviewing these because really, really because you have even John Mark gets really messed up in this. I mean, she's not holding back, Dominic. I mean, when you have somebody who's gone out of the way to kill two of their family members, you can now ask, what won't this woman do? She'll do anything. This is not Jacob Lord. And I love that. You have two different heels, and both are dangerous on their own levels. Really, really great job. Link to Benight and Beguile will be in the description box. Guys, go check this out if you haven't already. Have a good day.